Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Chef Notre Dame welcoming you to another NCAA Legends League match. We're doing the last bowl game. We're doing what we call the National Championship. Well, we've done some bowls. The New Mexico Bowl, 49 Cal won on a safety. The Armed Forces Bowl, Air Force, 85 Air Force won in the fourth quarter. The Papa John's Bowl, 61 Bama usually cruised. 81 Clemson winning the Independence Bowl in a snooze fest, 7-0. The Insight Bowl, 77 Texas, crushing Oregon State, and Channel Cinco like a grape. 59 Syracuse winning the Meineke Bowl over Virginia. The GMAC Bowl saw 72 USC pick off Ben Roethlisberger of the Red Hawks 7 times. Las Vegas Bowl, 69 Texas survived. The New Orleans Bowl, 1930 Notre Dame thought they were going to have a good bowl game, but because they were second in the Sun Belt, they had to go to this one. And they lost to 03 LSU. Hawaii Bowl, 08 Florida survived, got a fourth quarter surge against 32 USC with a touchdown to he who shall not be named. 86 Penn State won the Motor City Bowl in a defensive showfest. 2010 Stanford won the Emerald Bowl. The Texas Bowl saw Houston all over Pitt, thanks to 4 running touchdowns by Chuck Witherspoon. 69 San Diego State survived 54 UCLA in the Holiday Bowl in their own backyard. Maryland used the fourth quarter touchdown to beat West Virginia. The Liberty Bowl saw 05 Texas beat K-State narrowly. The Champs Bowl saw 56 Oklahoma win in the drizzle over FSU. 2011 Oklahoma State beat Penn State despite the fact no Brandon Whedon. The Idaho Bowl saw 69 Ohio State beat Texas Christian 20-0. The Gator Bowl saw North Carolina win 32-10. The Canada Bowl saw 45 Army beat 97 Michigan. The Sun Bowl saw Washington beat Georgia Tech. The Cotton Bowl saw 38 Tennessee beat Vanderbilt. Outback Bowl 58 LSU beat 47 Michigan. The Peach Bowl saw 2010 Auburn win without Cam Newton. The Capital One Bowl had that fifth quarter of overtime of epicness. It was 14-14 after regulation, but it was 30-27 in overtime. Most games didn't even hit the 57-point mark in regulation. Anyway, A&M beat Southern Memphis in the Fiesta Bowl using the first quarter of power. The Rose Bowl, tight one as should be happening. 04 USC beats 95 Nebraska. The Sugar Bowl, 98 Tennessee beat 70 Notre Dame in a narrow one. And the Orange Bowl, 66 Notre Dame beat Oklahoma. Now we're on to the final. 1924 Notre Dame versus 1944 Army. Who's the national champion?
Timeout offense. First down. The extra point is good. Flag on the play. Holding. Receiving team. First down. Flag on the play. Personal foul. Defense. First down. Receiving team. Flag on the play. False start. Offense. Holding. Receiving team. First down. First down. First down. Flag on the play. Offsides. Defense. Flag on the play. False start. Offense. Flag on the play. False start. Offense. First down. Timeout. Offense. First down. Good. First down. Excessive celebration. Offense. Good. Flag on the play. Tipping. Receiving team. First down. First down. First down. First down. First down. Holding. Offense. Timeout. Offense. Timeout. Offense. Flag on the play. Roughing the passer. Defense. First down.
Unsportsmanlike, so it's double penalty.
Timeout. Offense.
Davis is 12 years. Johnny was 10 passing.
First down.
So all the bowl games are over. Let's look at the summary. Kerry Collins was named the offensive MVP for his night for Penn State. What was it? Oh yeah, against Ole Miss at the Citrus Bowl, aka the Capital One Bowl. Okay. Rushing Choo Justice his 217 yards in the Gator Bowl against Georgia. Yeah, 217 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he was the quarterback too. So yeah, 300 yards passing. Andre Ware 466. That was the most, and that was in the Texas Bowl, 23 for 39, 466. He only threw 1 touchdown. That was shocking. Hazard picked up 251 yards receiving. Yeah, that's the shock part. They only had 1 touchdown pass. Burnett had a pick 6. Anyway, 100 yards passing. Andre Ware, 466. Dennis Shaw of San Diego State. In the Holiday Bowl, 423. Karen Collins, 412. And Clint Schiff. Remember the name. 331 yards for Oklahoma State when Brandon Whedon didn't play. He crushed 69 Penn State. Rushing, Choo Justice, 217. Tony Dorsett, 188. That was the game against Houston. And third place was 162 by Anthony Davis against Miami of Ohio. That was the game in which they took Roethlisberger, picked him off 7 times in that game. I wonder how many were a pick 6. Were there any pick 6s? Well, Phillips was a pick 6, but that was it. Receptions, Blackman with 10 receptions. Defensive MVP was Matt Goodygood of the 04 USC squad. Charles Hinton and Charles Phillips both with 2 picks off of Roethlisberger. John Kimbrough picked 7 Methodist off twice, and Clarence Ellis of the 70 Irish did so. Specialties MVP was David Pino of Texas. So the passing leaders, Andre Ware crushed everything with 3,712 yards. The Houston player. Ben Roethlisberger of the Miami Redhawks, second, 3,255. And Drew Willie, future CFLer. Well, Andre Ware, future Lion. Roethlisberger, future Steeler. And Drew Willie, future CFLer for the University of Buffalo. Rushing leaders, Chuck Witherspoon, almost 2,000 yards for the 89 Cougars. Tony Dorsett just snuck into second place from 76 Pitt, future Cowboy, and future USFL icon / Cowboy. Herschel Walker took third for the 80 Georgia squad, 1521. Receiving leaders, Manny Hazard had 113 receptions for 89 Houston. Tim Delaney of 69 San Diego had 110. Third place was 75, really? Interceptions, Mike Sensible, 15 for 69 Ohio State. Neil Smith of 69 Penn State with 13. Skip Snyder of 60 Missouri, third with 10. Sacks, Victor Simon of 81 SMU won that title over George Selfie of South Florida. And El Romano of 76 Pitt. Points leaders, Ryan Seska of Oregon State, 101 points, even though his team didn't score in the bowl game. Quinn Sharp of Oklahoma State, 100 points. David Pino, 97. Kickoff returns, Paul Miranda of 98 UCF, number 1. Brandon James of 08 Florida, number 2. And Coco Hillary of App State, number 3. Punt returns, David Allen of Kansas State beat Larry Salina by a yard. Dixie Hall, third. The final rankings, 44 Army, number 1. 04 USC, number 2. And 45 Army, number 3. 24 Notre Dame Horsemen, 4th. 39 A&M took 5th. 94 Penn State took 6th. 98 Tennessee took 7th. 66 Notre Dame, 8th. 30 Notre Dame, 9, and Syracuse, 59 Syracuse with the 10-2 mark. Yeah, it's weird that Ohio State got 1 loss through everything that they have had 15. Yep, right down to the bottom. All right, so here are the highlights. Most scoring for one team in the Legends League. The record is 84 points for the 05 Texas squad, beating 98 UCF by a score of 84 to 16. Yeah, 98 team with Culpepper. But yeah, on week one, 84 points, three touchdowns in each quarter. Vince Young, 19 for 22, 370, and 6 touchdowns. Vince Young even had 100 yards running the ball. Pittman, 136 receiving. Culpepper did okay, 223, yeah. It's just that easy, I think. Well, Brown had a pick 6. And Ross had a punt return for a touchdown. 53 Rice over 98 UCF in week 3. That was second 75 to nothing on their turf. They were 2 for 7 passing, but Johnson and Magel ran all over Central Florida. 166 yards for Johnson, 146 for Magel. So 312 yards combined. And third place with 73 points was 69 Ohio State in week 5 against Buffalo. Drew Willie threw for 254. He only threw 3 interceptions. Kern, 15 for 23, 248, 4 touchdowns. Otis, 178 running, and he didn't get a touchdown. Why? Well, I guess I didn't look at the runs. Yeah, they had all these touchdowns. I think all their touchdowns were running touchdowns. Most by both teams. Most combined. 104 points by 89 Houston and 01 East Carolina. They went to overtime. Yeah, they went to at least double overtime in that game. That was a shootout between Ware and Garrard. Ware was 7 touchdown passes. That's great. And Hazard 201 yards receiving with 4 TDs. You know, Towns had a picks on a kickoff return to make it 27-21. It was 35-28. Block punt return. East Carolina was up by 2 touchdowns with 13 minutes left, but they blew it. Kimball Anders, yeah. Texas's game against UCF when they scored 84 points. UCF actually scored 16. Buffalo Central Michigan in week 9 had 99 points because there were a lot of overtime points. LeFevre and Willie. Well, Willie threw for 5 touchdowns. LeFevre threw for 3. And LeFevre rushed for 3 touchdowns. Roosevelt, 121 receiving. So, yeah. You know, that Aguirre actually had to kick a field goal to tie the game for Central. And then they went back and forth before LeFevre had a touchdown win for Central Michigan. That was number 3, 99 points. Fewest by both teams by scoring. 3 points by 39 A&M over 32 Michigan. So, yeah, that was when, you know, those guys. Newman, 0 for 12 with 3 interceptions. That's amazing. 118 yards running for Kimbrough. The passing game wasn't half bad. Yeah, 2 defenses. Mississippi State beat Vanderbilt 6-0 in week 3. On Bland's touchdown run, Fisher and Everett, 3 for 7 yard passing. And, well, Vanderbilt didn't really do that well. Yeah. Number 3, well, there were some 7-0 games. Ole Miss beat LSU 7-0 in week 2 on a 4th quarter pass from Jake Gibbs. Elmer was 4 for 6, but Gibbs 2 for 5 touchdown. Cannon ran for 100 yards. A&M beating 38 Tennessee 7-0, 2 old school teams. There's one that shocked me. Boise losing 7-0 to 38 Texas Christian. And Boise State was 2014 when they got beaten. Clemson even won 7-0. That was week 13. That was the bowl game. That was the Independence Bowl. Yeah, that was the Independence Bowl. 2nd quarter touchdown. That was it. It was like, what the fuck? Most points by a kicker. Jose Johnson, 23 points for Rice against Southern Miss and Marshall. 23 points, 5. Why does it say 15? 23 points? Oh, I guess because he ran for, he had 8 points. I don't get it. Against Southern, especially against Southern Miss. Oh, he ran for 3 touchdowns himself. 197. Mango ran for 212. So Jose was the running back and the touchdown. And the kicker. Okay, that makes sort of sense, I suppose. 24 Notre Dame, yeah. Well, Ito had the most points per someone who actually kicked a field goal. He had 6 of them against West Virginia. Most by a non-kicker was Dwayne Jarrett putting up 5 touchdowns, catching 5 touchdowns against Arizona State, and Anthony Davis 5 touchdown runs against App State. All right, passing most yards. Andre Ware 507 for Houston against Tulane in week 2. So, yeah, against Tulane, 63-28. Ben Roethlisberger against Ohio State in a loss, 69 Ohio State in a loss, 477. Well, 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions, Ware 5 touchdowns, 2. And Ware took third in a 43-40 loss to Rice in week 5. Three touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Brandon Whedon had 4 touchdowns, 467. Billy Stevens of 65, UTEP, 467. And Andre Ware in the Texas Bowl had 466 yards. He was close to being number 1. Most touchdowns. Brian Sipe threw 8 against Hawaii. Well, I screwed up. I gave Hawaii the wrong one. It was 07 Hawaii. It should have been, not 08. My fault. Matt Lerner threw for 7 touchdowns against Arizona State. Brandon Roethlisberger threw 7 over Bowling Green. Andre Ware 7 over East Carolina. Kerry Collins threw for 7 against 95 Nebraska in week 10. Okay. Most interceptions, because I'm curious. Graham Harrell threw for 9 interceptions for OA Texas Tech in week 3, losing to 32 Michigan 21-19. Matt Flynn threw for 8 interceptions, losing to 42 Georgia 21-16. That's amazing. Matt Gruffy threw 8 picks, 07 South Florida against 69 Penn State. While Roethlisberger's 7 tied for 4th in the GMAC Bowl. Rushing yards. The most rushing yards for one game. Wilburn Hollis, 269 in week 11 against 94 Penn State when they beat them. It didn't, well, it kind of ruined their Rose Bowl absolutely, but yeah, 269 for Wallace. Chuck Witherspoon, 263 in week 7 against Southern Miss. And George Savico of 38 Tennessee, 258 against Oklahoma State in week 11. So, yeah, Herschel Walker, Eric Bieniemy, Darren Autry. Most rushing touchdowns. Only Anthony Davis, 5 rushing touchdowns against Appalachian State. So Cam Newton ran for 4 against Kentucky. Wow. Doug Blanchard ran for 4. Fort Weiss for Air Force ran for 4 one game. Nice. Chuck Witherspoon 4. Dickie Mango when they crushed Central Florida. Receiving yards. Most yards in a game. 251 by Manny Hazard. And that was that game. It was that game. It was the game. It was the Texas Bowl. He beat Randy Moss's 224 in week 4 and J.R. Russell's 224 in week 9 for Louisville and Moss for Marshall. So Hazard broke that mark. Michael Clayton, Manny Hazard 203. Yeah, Manny Hazard had a lot. Most receiving touchdowns. 5 by Dwayne Jarrett for USC against Arizona State. J.R. Russell had 4 for Louisville against 09 Cincy. Tom Gatewood got 4 touchdown catches for 70 Notre Dame against VT. And Manny Hazard, 4 in that one against East Carolina. Defense, most interceptions. Charles Woodson got 4 interceptions against Buffalo in week 2. Nice. But no touchdowns. Clyde Ahert, 3 for 42 Georgia. Dick Spriggs, 3 for 66 Wyoming. Stan Frey, 3 for 32 Michigan. Fred Murray, 3 for... Skip Snyder, 3 against 32 Michigan. And that was a touchdown. So, yeah. And most sacks. Most sacks, well, 3 people. George Selvies for 07 South Florida sacked 69 Penn State 4 times, but they still lost. Bolden Wyatt, 4 for 38 Tennessee against Missouri in the win. And Mark Deblett, 4 for 69 Ohio State against Toledo in a win. So, most field goals in one game was, well, Chris Brown of 95 Nebraska, week win against 02 Ohio State in a 25-19 win. And Jeremy Ito, 6 for Rutgers against 07 West Virginia in week 4. So, yeah, people had 5. I wonder if they had a bolt. No, they were playing with 5. Quinn Sharp, Carson Long, Mike Nugent, Jeff Hall. Most points after, well, 12 for David Pino against Central Florida. Arnie Gramatica had 10 against OA Texas Tech with 10 touchdowns. And most punts. 13 in one game by Jimmy Kibble of 98 Virginia Tech. David Devada, 13 for Middle Tennessee, and also against, 13 tackles. Punts. Most return yards in one game went to Camp Wilson of 44 Tulsa, 276, but he had 3 touchdowns. Three kickoff returns for touchdowns against Central Michigan, and they won 41-38. It was close. Trinidad Holiday of 07 LSU against Appalachian State, 45-28, with 2 touchdowns. 2-12 by Young Boozer against 44 Army. 47-27 loss. Yeah, they got blown up by the eventual national champs by 20 points, but he had 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Coco Hillary did that. High return yardage. Raymond Pendleton of 07 Kansas, 240 punt returns against 32 Michigan, winning 51-20. He had 2 touchdowns. Doug Ncaa, week 9 against LSU, 155 punt return yards, 2 touchdowns. And Chuck Levy of 93 Arizona against Utah, 2 touchdowns, 151 yardage. The best passing plays. The longest play, 87 yards. Klingler, a touchdown to Brian Williams against 98 UCF. They used Klingler and Ware to the best of their ability. I think he played the whole game, didn't he, week 11? That was the last week of the season. Yeah, he did. Keith Thibodeau, 86-yard touchdown, 77 L-Tech to Rod Phillip in week 10 in a loss. Darren Thomas threw 86 yards to Jeff Mayo for Oregon in a 28-3 win over Arizona, but that was not a touchdown. Rushing the longest, Blair Thomas, 91 yards for 86 Penn State week 10 against Central Michigan, and that wasn't even a touchdown, 31-3. Justin Vincent, 91-yard touchdown run against 30 Notre Dame in the New Orleans Bowl. That tied. Yeah, when they went all pissy potty. Shorter McWilliams had an 86-yard run for 45 Army against 04 Louisville, but that wasn't a touchdown. Choo Justice's 85-yard touchdown against Georgia was 4th place. The longest run. Nice. Field goal. The longest 56-yard field goal by Jeremy Ito against 07 West Virginia. Louis Dakota, 55 yards for Utah against Oregon in a loss. And Ryan Seska, 54 yards for Oregon State against Utah in a win. So, yeah, got that one. Longest punt, Mark Simon in the Armed Forces Bowl, 80-yard punt, beating Louis Dakota's 78-yard punt for Utah against Cal. Kickoff return, the longest, Terry Battle had a 100 yards for 96 Arizona State against Oregon State. Coco Hillary, 100 yards for App State against 07 LSU. Mike Jenkins, South Florida, 100 yards against Syracuse. Paul Johnson, 100-yard kickoff return for 69 Penn State against West Virginia. And Tony Smith, 100 yards self-miss against Houston. On return, Raymond Pendleton, 93 yards for 07 Kansas against 32 Michigan. Paul Johnson, 89 yards for Penn State against BYU. And Sean Timms, 80 yards for Washington State against Utah. And punt return, interception, 100 yards for Deshaun Richard, week 7 against Arizona State, and a loss, but he still got 100 yards. Paul Rose, 92-yard pick 6 for Colorado against Utah, week 6. Alfonso Roundtree, 86 yards for Tulane against OA Florida, but they still lost. The All-American team. Oh, cool. I have it for all the players, and I like that. The All-American MVP is Tim Tebow of the 08 Gators. Chase Beeler, Burt Metzger, Mark Manders, Billy Neighbors, and Pete Adams are your offensive line. And Tim Tebow. Well, Tebow's the MVP. Running back Chuck Witherspoon of Houston, Kijana Carter of the 94 Penn State squad, and Tony Dorsett of Pitt. The 3 wide receivers, Manny Hazard of Houston, Bobby Ingram and Freddie Scott, both of Penn State, 94 Penn State. The tight ends, Tim Delaney of the 69 Aztecs and Tom Gatewood of the 70 Irish. Defense, the defensive line, Alan Page, Steve Edmond, George Selvey, and Sean Cody page of the 66. Irish, Steve Edmond, 91 Washington. Sylvie, 07 South Florida, and Sean Cody, 04 SC. The linebackers, Richard Wood of 72 USC, Ben Moffitt of South Florida, Matt Wilhelm of 02 Ohio State, and Jeff Davis of Clemson. The corner, the defensive backfield, Corey Sawyer of FSU, Tony Furman of BC, Neil Smith of 69 Penn State, and Davey O'Brien of Texas Christian. Special teams, Ryan Seska, the kick returner for Oregon State, for the kicker. The punter, Dean Davison of Vanderbilt. Brandon James of 08 Florida as the kick returner. And Larry Salina of Ohio State. The ACC, Joe Theismann of the 70 Irish was named the MVP. The Big East, Tony Dorsett of 76 Pitt was MVP. The quarterback was Zach Collaros, future NFLer. Conference USA, Tim Tebow of 08 Florida was named the MVP. Pac-12, Andrew Luck of Stanford was named the MVP. SEC, Cam Newton of 2010 Auburn. I didn't blame the Bogan. The Mid-American, Ben Roethlisberger of 03 Miami. Kerry Collins of Penn State named the Big Ten one. Big 12 MVP was Brandon Weeden of OK State. Mountain West, Davey Bryan of 38 Texas Christian. And the Sun Belt, Glenn Davis of Army. The quarterback was Mike Ray of 72 USC. So, yeah. So that's all we've got. That's it. We're done. We don't need to do the encyclopedia because we have some great moments and some great moments ever. Next year, we'll do it all over again, and we'll have every team get one team this time. So Notre Dame would be an Army basically have to find the best of the best. But I know what's best of the best. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.